If we don't have anything else, y'all, we have love and we have emotional connection. And that's why rom-coms are so important. Hey creators, welcome back to Creator Best Life for a brand new video. I'm Kimani and I talk about all things film, TV, creative, art, DIYs, decor, everything. So today we're talking about film and TV, and this is one of my favorite genres that I haven't talked about for a very long time and really thought about because they kind of disappeared from our, stratosphere. Really, it's not on our radar anymore. But after recently watching the TV show on Netflix, Nobody Wants This, I had the thought, are rom-coms finally making a comeback? You probably hadn't thought about it either. With all the Marvel movies, all of the war movies, we've got a bunch of other superhero movies with DC that have come out, and a lot of thrillers, psychological horrors. Like, horrors have gotten so much better over the years outside of just the slashers. And I feel like no one has really talked about rom-coms. At least I haven't seen it. I can't say no one hasn't, but I haven't seen it because they haven't really been on our radar lately. So today we're going to discuss what is a rom-com, what constitutes it as a rom-com outside of just a romance, outside of just a regular old drama. Could there be some genre bending in there somewhere? Then we're going to talk about what some of the popular rom-coms have been, as well as some of my personal favorites, and discuss why they went away, and then talk about if they should or should not make a comeback for good. So if you like videos like this, just keep watching. Okay, so first and foremost, the question that you've been dying to ask because you've been living under a rock. What is a rom-com? A rom-com is the abbreviated version of a romantic comedy, which takes into account elements of romance and comedy, some of the best genres of all time. But can you do it well? They can either be cheesy or they can be super lovey-dovey and just give you all the longing feels that you're looking for in a romance, or they could lean more on the raunchy side. It just depends on whatever floats your boat, to be perfectly honest. So these films and TV shows typically focus on a romantic relationship between characters, but it also uses humor to incorporate feelings of lightheartedness and just entertaining situations. Some may be awkward. The beginning of the story usually starts out with the characters having some kind of romantic complication or issue that they need to solve, but by the end of the story, they have overcome these issues and continue to fall madly in love with each other. All right, here are some of the features of a rom-com. The first is a meet cute, which is oftentimes a charming or quirky first encounter between the main characters. The second element of a rom-com is a misunderstanding or obstacle. These are things that get in the way of the couple's happiness. This could be like a cock block, which is a family member or a kid, a job, any kind of misunderstanding or timing issues that stop them from actually being together and honoring their feelings. And the third element of rom-coms is the happy ending. The couple typically ends up together after a series of really weird, uncomfortable, awkward, silly, detrimental events. Rom-coms are supposed to be really fun, lighthearted, humorous stories where you can just enjoy the elements of romance, love, emotional depth. Some really popular rom-coms are one of my personal favorites, The Proposal. Then you have Notting Hill, you have The Best Man, you have When Harry Met Sally. I would personally say that Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers is a rom-com. I'll have to double check, but I personally feel like that's a rom-com. It's cute. What makes rom-com so special, you ask? Don't worry, I'll tell you. Feel good vibes, obviously. You're supposed to feel fun, flirty, on cloud nine, love, infatuated, lighthearted. You're supposed to laugh. It's supposed to be like, oh, I've done that before, or I would never do that, but I know someone else who has done that and embarrassed themselves. It's just supposed to be cute, very cutesy, very demure. Rom-coms aren't very demure. And you're supposed to see like a real life relationship where they overcome obstacles. Oftentimes, the obstacle is something stupid, but that's also real life. It could be something as dumb as they just don't want to say I love you back, just on principle. And one thing that really makes them special and great for people with anxiety is that they're predictable. You know what's going to happen. You get into the will they, won't they, will they, won't they, and then something bad happens. But then you also know that afterwards they're going to overcome whatever that issue is and they're actually going to get together, which gives you that happily ever after, but you also get that sense of security because you know that it was going to happen. It also has relatable characters. I already said that you probably see people that did something that either you have done in a relationship or dating, or you know someone or have witnessed something awkward or dumb happen if within somebody else's relationship or dating situation. And it just is nice to know that you're not alone. We can all also identify with just feelings of insecurity and like, does this person like me? But also feelings of, wow, I'm just going to put myself out there. Because everyone who has been in a relationship and or dated has probably felt a little bit insecure at one point or another. And knowing that everyone feels that way is kind of comforting, just because of the fact that you know that it ain't just me. Everyone is feeling this way, so calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Like, don't get me wrong, it is that deep, but it's not that big of a deal that you may feel a little awkward and like not your most confident self, but also like keep going, because it's worth it. If we don't have anything else, y'all, we have love and we have emotional connection. And that's why rom-coms are so important. Speaking of connection, humor is a connection. We can connect with people through humor, whether that is the dark humor, it is some lighthearted humor. Regardless, humor brings people together. And it's because everyone, like I said before, has experienced an awkward situation. It could be something awkward, like you like two people at the same time. Who do you choose? What's the best version for your life, you know? And you know what rom-coms do with that? They make it funny. They make it super awkward. They make it to where we are so uncomfortable and cringing in that moment that we have to laugh. Another one of my favorite things about rom-coms is the chemistry between the two main characters. I think that is so important, and you can always tell when the characters don't have much chemistry because you're not really connected to the story. You don't feel like that lovey-dovey longing for that person, because usually the characters are attractive. The whole point of seeing that chemistry is to feel like this is a real couple, right? You want to feel the emotions that they're feeling. You want to reminisce on emotions that you have felt or currently feel in your relationship. You want to covet whatever it is. Covet is a big word. I don't know if covet is the right word, but you're essentially like, man, I want to feel like that. He gets her flowers every day. He makes her coffee every morning. She rubs his shoulders every night he comes home from work. It could be something simple like that, but it's just like you want to see and feel that these characters are actually in love. Otherwise, what's the point? Plus, you want to see the emotional journey of their relationship. Did they have any trials and tribulations? Is someone blocking them from that? Is it something internal? They could have anxiety. They could have mommy or daddy issues, abandonment, trust issues. They could be a terrible person. One person might be a narcissist or just have narcissistic traits. The possibilities are endless. Somebody might have an ex involved. You just never know. But seeing these two people that have feelings for each other and they actually come together and express those feelings, it's just really heartwarming. We also love the escapism element of rom-coms because if we're being real, everyone has had lulls where they were single and longed to be with somebody. Watching it on TV helps you not feel alone. Think about he's just not that into you. Everyone has been single at one point in their life. Sometimes the other person doesn't like you and sometimes they do. But in those moments, you still feel like you long for a partnership, right? Everyone does. At least I'd like to think that everyone does. But you should 1000% be whole, a whole person who loves their life before you get in a relationship. Sometimes you might actually be in a great relationship, but you guys have time apart due to work or illness, or you got to take care of a family member. It could be a whole lot of other reasons why you guys aren't together. But just watching a rom-com makes you feel like that person is there with you and you still get the feel-good emotions out of it, even though you're not experiencing it for yourself. Another great part is the meet cute. We love a meet cute. It's charming, it's quirky, a little serendipitous. Sometimes when I watch stuff though, I'm like, there's no way that two people who are attracted to each other meet at this exact moment. Like some of the way that characters are orchestrated to have met is very like robotic. And it just feels off. And you can just tell from the very beginning that you're not necessarily going to feel all the chemistry between these characters. So I think that it's great to have a meet cute, but also make sure that like it's believable. It's not like oh, he spilled coffee on me all the time, you know, just get creative with it. And lastly, what's really special about rom-coms is the soundtrack. Music can make or break your movie. I'm gonna just be real. Everyone knows that, but if you have a fire playlist for your rom-com, it's perfect. So let me tell you some of the rom-coms that have really great playlists. This is a Christmas one. The Holiday. The Holiday soundtrack is perfection. I could listen to that all day for no reason. I was watching The Holiday the other night, and Matt was in the room with me, and he was like, I know this playlist. This music is on my study playlist when I'm, he's in grad school. This music is on my study playlist, and I love the songs. And I'm like, you know what? They did their big thing with that one, because even the guys like it. It's undeniable. It's either good or it's not, So I think that the soundtrack is super important because it conveys all of that emotion. And sometimes you just want fire R&B music on your movie, like The Best Man Holiday, The Best Man Christmas, or what? All the Best Men's. Those are also holiday movies, I believe. But you also have like Love Jones, really cute project. It had regular, classical orchestrated music behind it, but it also had some hits that we have heard before. So all that to say, the soundtrack is super important in conveying the emotion that you are trying to feel in your movie. Okay, so with all that said, let me share with you some of my favorite rom-coms. The Proposal. Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock were great. It was so freaking funny. The part where they slammed into each other, she was out the shower, he had just taken his gym clothes off. That was freaking hilarious, because how freaking awkward is that? Could you imagine? I would be mortified, because that is my assistant. Mortified. And going to his family home after y'all had staged a proposal, craziness, but loved it. I ate that up. Think Like a Man. I just rewatched that the other day, and Think Like a Man too. So freaking cute. And sometimes it's nice to either have just two leads, but I also appreciate that it can be an ensemble cast and it's people coupled off, and each couple has a different issue that they are tackling, like whether or not to have a baby, whether or not you guys are going to work in the same town, or if you guys are going to travel for work or take a different job elsewhere. How does that affect your relationship? Whether or not someone is lying. Someone might have an ex that they can't get over. There's a lot of things. A mama's boy. Or, it could be a woman who just does not put their relationship first. They put their family first. But those quirky moments are what makes it so freaking funny. Let me tell you something. Katherine Heigl, James Marsden, and Matthew McConaughey, they were in their bag in the early 2000s. 27 Dresses, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Monster-in-Law, that was a rom-com. The Wedding Planner, Hitch, all those were so freaking good. And then obviously I mentioned Nobody Wants This because it's brand new and I'm kind of obsessed. Like, I could watch it again. So if rom-coms are so freaking great, why did they go away? Well, there was a huge shift in the genres that were popular starting from the 2010s. It just wasn't the thing anymore. So what did we go to? We went to Marvel. We went to thrillers. We went to horrors. We went to more war crime movies. All these types of genres made more money than rom-coms. Plus, because it was a broader audience, you didn't have women dragging their boyfriends and husbands to chick flicks. It is what it is. You have people, moms and dads, bringing their kids to watch the Hunger Games. You have people going to watch the Hunger Games at date night. You have groups of girlfriends going to watch the Hunger Games. Guys, just everyone could go. And everyone could go see a rom-com, but it just traditionally was not something that guys liked, straight guys. Another reason is the newer generations, mine, millennials, Gen Zs, we started having more interest in more diverse stories. We wanted something different. As generations, we wanted people that didn't look like us. We wanted people that did not have the same experiences as us. We wanted people with different gender roles and sexual orientations, and just overall more inclusive. A lot of rom-coms leaned more towards in a traditional gender rolled heterosexual relationship. So all that to say, people got bored. It was too predictable. Another reason is that people got tired of watching the same actors as well. After a while, it's like, let's see somebody else. Let's see somebody new. Let's see somebody less seasoned. Give some other people a chance that it's in with the diversity and just overall inclusivity of Hollywood and what stories we put out. And you know what? Some of those people were probably tired. Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant, Jennifer Aniston. I'm sure some of those people wanted to sit down for a second, and they have. Another reason is the rise of streaming platforms and the change in how people consume art and media. It just is what it is that people tend to not go out to movie theaters anymore. If it's something that they're not super excited and feeling FOMO about, they're gonna stay at home. They'll watch it when it comes out on streaming, unfortunately. And that, on top of the fact that things have gotten more expensive, movie theater experiences have gotten more expensive, and then we had COVID, which sat everybody down at home. So people were going to the drive-in, spending less money. People wanted to make their own food and be in the comfort of their own homes and invite as many people as possible, and we can all watch it together and have this just great experience. And that's just changed a lot for movies. So when thinking about all that, should rom-coms make a comeback? I think they should. I genuinely think that they should. Because guess what? In a post-COVID society, COVID is still here, wear your mask, we need more escapism. Simple as that. I don't know if people want to see dystopians right now. Dystopian worlds are dark and bleak. And if we're living in one, why would I want to watch one? I don't need to see Animal Farm. We got Animal Farm at home. Plus, rom-coms can change. They don't have to be the same formula that they were before. We have options. We have more diverse writers coming into the industry. Call me. I got some ideas. I have an outline that I am getting through next month. So just let me know. We can talk, okay? So a lot of these new rom-coms can discuss mental health, different sexual orientation, relationships, which have been on the rise, more diverse relationships, and navigating love in the digital age. Like, there should be more rom-coms on people that have met online. I know friends that are married that met on a dating app, and it had gone very, very well for them. There are, positive relationships, great long-lasting relationships that have been developed on social media. And I think that's a beautiful thing. No two relationships are alike, and we should be able to embrace that and tell more stories like that. I think despite the way that a lot of people may act, most of us are excited for more diverse stories and diverse relationships. It's time. It is time. We need to see more movies with, if I'm being totally honest, where the dark-skinned black girl is the object of desire. I'm gonna just be real. It's not common. I don't see it often. So we deserve to see that. That's what I'm gonna write. We need more of that. And whatever demographic you are from, tell your story. I think another element is along the lines of having social media, that we are in a loneliness epidemic, and being able to make films that bring connection to people is really important, because sure, you can watch the thing, but also go out and live your real life. Let that inspire you to have a life of your own, to create whatever relationship that you desire and deserve. And we all deserve love. We deserve to experience it. We deserve to give it. We deserve to accept it. So using these films to generate more emotional connections for people is so important. So I truly hope that we do get some more rom-coms cooking in the kitchen. I know there have been some on a lot of streaming platforms that I still have not delved into. Y'all know that this is not a genre that I have been delving into the last decade or so, just because we didn't have many, and I was just so into the mysteries and thrillers. I love the dark stuff, so I just didn't fall into it, but I'm enjoying it again. And so I hope to see more. I hope to develop more. And I just can't wait to see this genre grow again. All right, that's all I got for y'all. Tell me in the comments below if you feel like rom-com should make a comeback. What are some of your favorites? Who would be in your dream rom-com movie? It could be someone that's already been in them. It could be someone who has not been in one yet, and you're like, yes, I would love to see the range. I'm just curious on your thoughts, so let me know. And if you like videos like this, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share with a friend, and hit the subscribe button if you are new. I would love to have you join the fam. We are back for good. I am here to say we are back for good. I don't care where we are. I don't care what we're doing, but we are back for good. So until next time, guys, go out and create your best life today. Bye.